Hi friends, Tarun here. I'm here with a new video series called Unsung Heroes. You'll be like, what is this Unsung Heroes? I mean, we've seen a lot of series like this called Unsung Heroes. Well, I've got something really new. Although the title might be something cliched, something old, the treatment will be very different, and let me tell you how. I got this motivation to do this video series based on two perspectives, based on interactions. Perspective number one, I was following this Delhi elections, and while following this Delhi elections, I saw that Atishi Marlena was trailing behind her BJP competitor. I mean, it was in the morning, eventually she won, that's a different story. I saw she was trailing. Then I asked my father, why is it that these good candidates fail to do well in elections? Many of these good candidates were intellectuals, people just don't understand them. My father was like, then what do you say about PV Narasimha Rao? PV Narasimha Rao was a fantastic person, spoke 17 languages, great intellectual, did so many wonderful things for the country. Who valued him when he was alive? I mean, even today, how many people know about how PV Narasimha Rao changed the country? It's like, why? Why does this happen? Perspective number two. One of my mentors, he was telling me that people usually have an anti-establishment thinking. That is, if there's an employer who's very sincere and who's thinking about the benefits of the employees, even then the employees would be like, why is this fellow talking nicely to me? Matlab, he's trying to get his work done, and that's why this guy is trying to talk nicely to me. He's like, why? Why does that have to be the case? So if I think about it, it's a trust issue. The employer usually, the stereotyped employer, does not trust the employee, and the employee does not trust the employer. The employee thinks the employer is only trying to be nice to me, but this fellow only wants to suck my blood and get work done out of me. And the employer thinks this fellow is only trying to impress me because he wants a salary. This fellow wants nothing else out of me, doesn't care anything about me. He just wants money out of me. Now, this is a very old concept. I mean, long back there was this theory of management called scientific management, where it was about authoritarian mode of management, where I squeeze the hell out of people and get the work done out of people. But then came Peter Drucker, who said, no, companies are not just profit-making machines. There has to be trust between people. But then this sort of idea has gone. I mean, they call it management by objectives, and a lot of people do follow Peter Drucker. But then this authoritarian model of leading people without much of trust is still prevalent in different places across the world. Now, why does this happen? Because, ideas don't travel that fast. Your smartphones, your internet has come out. I mean, initially people were not willing to use that also, but now people are willing to, use it. But then ideas take a lot more time. Let me give you an example. Now, I told you that ideas take a lot of time to travel. Let me demonstrate that to you. Today, a lot of people are running behind money, right? Money dictates people's agenda. But maybe about 400 years back, people were not running behind money as much. Money was not as big as it is today. That's because we now live in capitalism. Right, a capitalist age. Capitalism took about 200 to 400 years of convincing, where several economists had to convince people that, hey, we need capitalism, and then it came out. So ideas don't come that easy. For example, if you look at India is only 70 years old as a democracy, and people say India is still evolving as a democracy. India is still learning how to run a democracy, while America is a lot more mature democracy and knows how to run a democracy. So if you think about it, if you talk of an idea, which is talking about the society, which needs the entire society, the people to adopt it, it takes time. So even when you talk of leadership, Peter Drucker spoke about it in the 1950s, just 70 years. So this model of leadership is still going to take time to develop. Until then, I thought I'm going to do something to improve this trust between employers and employees, leaders and the others. Because usually what I see is when a leader comes and tells us a story, a lot of people have seen only the jealousy wala emotion triggers within them. This fellow he wants to brag about himself, he wants to tell all good things about himself, and that's why this guy is coming and talking all of this now. But if we didn't have jealousy, if it were our own friend, how would we listen to this leader? It'd be like, hey, if this has worked with him, if this has worked with Peter Drucker, if this has worked with Raghuram Rajan, if this has worked with Mahatma Gandhi, can I take a little bit of strategy, a little bit of tactics and a little bit of ideas from there? Can I try it in my own life? Right? In 3 Idiots there's a dialogue, no? दोस्त फेल हुआ तो दर्द होता है, लेकिन दोस्त टॉप किया तो ज़्यादा ही दर्द होता है. But then I think that's on a lighter tone. We tend to learn a lot from our friends. So I'm wanting to do this Unsung Heroes video series. So we tend to look at these leaders like our own friends. So we learn from them, because see, when we travel with a friend, we learn their habits, we learn their strengths, we learn their sort of approach towards life and all these nice things which they have very quickly, right? Good habits or bad habits, we learn very quickly. Just by traveling with friends, we learn a lot. So what if Raghuram Rajan, Peter Drucker and all these great thought leaders become our friends? That is precisely the objective of this video series called Unsung Heroes. On one hand, we're giving a great tribute to them because they're doing a lot of good things for mankind, people kind. But not many people know about them. I mean, they're not as popular as, say, a Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, a Brad Pitt or a Tom Cruise or a Virat Kohli or a Dhoni, right? How about celebrating their stories? Not in terms of their success, but in terms of their ideas and in terms of their thought process and how they're wanting to make us think. So it's a tribute to them, and it's also changing our life. So that we also tend to start thinking like leaders, we tend to improve our thought process, and the world has more trust. People trust leaders, and so leaders are able to change the world a lot faster. So ideas don't have to take 200 to 400 years to spread. So let's help ourselves, let's help the leaders, let's help the society. Unsung heroes.